Okay, well, the last video for this week is going to be on the placement of the mouth and just the measuring and how you get that in there. One of the things that a lot of portrait people get caught up into are kids, especially when they're just getting started. They imagine a mouth and like that, a happy, smiley face. If you say, give me a happy, smiley face. Well, mouths generally don't do this. If you look over here, Chris's, the mouth is almost straight across with a little bit of a grin up in the sides. Even on a big smile, you don't get that big kind of loopy look like that. So let's get rid of that real quick. And what we're going to do now is find out where we're going to place this mouth on here. Once again, we're going to measure. We're going to measure from the in the earlier video in placing the nose, we found the bottom of it here. Now we need to make the measurement from the bottom of the nose to the middle of the mouth. And usually, once again, we're going to use the measurement of the eye. And I did a little pre-measuring on this, and it comes to, if we measure from the inside of the eye to right there, that dimension there is the same distance from here to here. And like I said, every mouth is different, every face is different, so you're going to have to measure each face for its own particular measurements, okay? So I'm going to quick do that over here. I'm going to measure it. Just measuring right from there down to about here, and that should be about the middle of the mouth right here. And then once again, we need to get the width of the mouth from here to here roughly, and we'll quick do a measurement on that. And on this one, believe it or not, the mouth is about this wide. It goes from the inside of here on my measurement to right about here. And so I'll take that measurement, and in this case it's pretty symmetrical, so it's right in the middle. So one of the things I also do, I tell you about angles. And angles can help you get distances. So I'm going to bring this up here and just show you how it works on something like this when you're transferring angles and when you're looking at things. And you see angles that you want to use to help you create a dimension. And so if you look at this, there is no line here. Certainly there is no line there. But there is a line from here to here. Well, if in a straight line, that is that angle. Okay? Now, since we know this line here, we know where it is over here. Oops, sorry. I have to get rid of that to work this. Since we know that the line of his mouth is over here, and if we transfer that angle that we see here over to here, look at that. See how that angle, all of a sudden they interact. That just double checks your angle. Sometimes you don't even have to do this measurement. A lot of times when I'm doing a portrait, sometimes I won't even do this measurement. I'll just double check that angle. And then we'll do this other one in this direction. We'll move it over here. Let's see what happens when we use. So we'll line that up there. Bring it down to this one. It comes right off the nose to the corner of the mouth. Let's see what happens when you do that over here. Not too far off. That's pretty good. So that's all I'm saying when I talk about using angles to find your dimension, to help locate your dimensions. That's really all I'm saying. Then once again, we were talking about mouths earlier today. So we'll come over here and draw a mouth real quick. Mouths, since light comes from the top generally, anything usually on the top part, since those top lips are falling back and away underneath, kind of being shadowed, you get the shadow on the top part of the mouth. And once again, mouths generally are symmetrical, not always, but in general. And then on the bottom part of the lip, as you can see, it's in light. The top part is in shadow. bottom part has more light coming down and hitting it. So, and once again, there's a big tendency to try and do what's called a outlined mouth, and you get that strong line around there when people are drawing. But do you see that here? Nope. It's really just an indication, a light indication that there's a mouth there. So we'll come over here and erase this out. And so when you do put the lips in, you want to do more of an indication. And when we get to the rendering of this, where we're not just using lines and we end up using values and shadows. Notice we're not going to put lines around this, so to speak, around this. We're going to use grays to create these shapes, not blacks. Okay. So once again, on this bottom, really what defines this bottom lip is the shadow below it. So like this. Okay. So let me get rid of that and let's put it in place. I'm once again using my Autodesk Sketchbook Pro here. It is a lot of fun to use for a computer. So this is more of an eyeball. If you try to measure this, you're gonna way overwork this. So you want to be able to get to the point where you're eyeballing it. Always look at this angle here. Some people have, wow, they have a high one. Sometimes it's almost an arc, almost not having one at all. Or in his case, it's a little bit longer angle here. Okay. So let's take a look at it over here. We know it's right in the middle. And then we're going to eyeball this bottom part a little bit, kind of give an indication where it is. You can certainly measure this a bit if you want. And then you always have these, it's kind of hidden by his mustache right now, but really we're not going to mess so much with that until we get into the actual rendering of the whole face and start talking about the actual shadowing and creating roundness and depth in a portrait. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, once again, email me. Bye-bye.